Okay, short game once again is extremely important. A good putting stroke can literally turn a 100 into maybe an 80. Honest to God, putting is extremely important. So that's why we want to make sure we take a good amount of time and dedicate a good amount of time to just as much time as on the range over here on the short game area. Okay, so just to go over some basic things with the putting stroke. Putting is a lot like chipping, which we just talked about, but we're not going to obviously tilt our hands forward. We're going to have our hands nice and straight up and down like this. Good way to think of it, put your hands together like this, tilt down a little bit like you're taking a bow, and then put your hands on that club, okay? Once you get to a comfortable position with your hands on that club, all it is just that same motion that we just talked about with chipping, just back and through, just like this. Think about like a big grandfather clock, right? And it has that big pendulum coming down. I like to think about putting stroke. This is the big circular object on the end of it, and you just go back and forth just like this, tick tock, just like that clock. Okay? And from there, the next thing we want to look at, once because you got that putting stroke down, we want to look at how we read this green. Okay? So when I read greens, I like to get up behind the ball like this. I'm going to look at, which way does this break, and I don't like to overanalyze it to the point where you go over here, you look at how this is going to roll, you go over there, look at how that's going to roll. Putting is a lot of feel to do, okay? So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to look at where that ball is going to roll, and for some people, a nice tip that I like to use, if I find myself at the beginning of the round hitting a lot of putts way past the hole, 2, 3, 4 feet past the hole, I'll look at the front of the hole and I'll just kind of imagine that ball just dying in the front of the hole, okay? Same can be said if I end up hitting putts short. I'm going to look at that hole now this next time and imagine myself just hitting it maybe even a foot past the hole, but really focus on hitting that ball to the back of the cup, okay? So now when you come in here, I feel like I've read the green correctly, so I'm going to aim maybe 6 inches to the left, or to the right, excuse me. Then I'll come in here, just get a comfortable position, okay? And then from here, I'm just going to make that one tick tock motion, okay? And from there, reading the greens is extremely important. Putting stroke is very, very simple motion. Don't ever try to, complicate it, because that's when you get into some problems. And then really all it is, gaining confidence with that putting stroke. And from there, you should really feel very comfortable on the course as well as on the practice green, just hitting those putts back and forth, just like that. Okay? Any questions? Okay.